Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bitcoin prediction. And I hope you like my artwork. It does look lovely. This is a prediction of women involved in Bitcoin. I'll get to that a little bit later, but this is going to be probably like my little cover thing here. First thing I'd like to talk about is, you know, what does it mean to be an early adopter? Okay, what does it mean to, you know, be one of the first of your group, your circle, to be a Bitcoin user? All right. I want to share a little video, and you know, a lot of people would consider Bitcoin users as fools, especially in the beginning. You know, Bitcoiners were mocked, persecuted in some ways, and ridiculed, made fun of. It's kind of like that quote where they'll what is that? I don't know. First they'll fight you, then they'll join you, and then whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Or first they'll laugh at you, or I'm sorry, I forgot the quote. But the point is, you're made into a fool, right? Because you believe in something that doesn't exist. It's not real. You know, you're not taken very seriously. So I want to, and I'll get to the digital artwork here in a moment. It's you have to bear with me. It's a little deep. It's a subject matter that you know, I don't like talking about this, but I guess somebody has to. But let me go to the video first. And you know, when I got into Bitcoin, I mean, a lot of people, I had people text me because I was trading peer-to-peer, and that's the way to get in contact with me and everything. I had a lot of people tell me I'm a fool. You're a fool, right? And I'm sure people who watch my videos think I'm a fool. And some people who I even trade with think I'm a fool, right? Because the way I traded with them, and eventually they burned me. But anyways, let me get to this video, because I think this is important for anybody who's new getting into Bitcoin, specifically women. I think women don't get into Bitcoin for various reasons. They probably look at Bitcoiners as crazy or foolish or whatever, because there's very few women, at least on the peer-to-peer level, that I've encountered. Very few. And but I think for Bitcoin to go, at least the price of Bitcoin to go higher, and at least to, you know, the 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, a million, you have to involve the other half of the population, of the global population, which is the female population. All right, I've said this before in my other videos. I'm going to try to reiterate, and I'm going to put it in a way, in a context, in a prediction that hopefully, if you're a woman, and if you're watching, I don't know, maybe you'll get angry at me, or maybe you'll agree or disagree, whatever. But my prediction, I'm just gonna say it, all right? But you know, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. I read in the news, you know, Vinny Lingham predicts Bitcoin to go to 3,000, and also that Bitcoin, the state will purchase Bitcoin, right? And that's going to drive the price up. And I agree with him 100%. but you're not going to like what I'm going to say. Or maybe you will. I don't know. There's a lot, there's a twist to Vinny Lingham's prediction, which I'm going to make a prediction on, all right? On why. I'm sure he gets into detail. I didn't read his article about how, why. I know he predicted the price to go to 3,000. He predicted everything so far, it would go to 8 and 9 and all this other stuff. Kind of makes you wonder, does he even own any Bitcoin? I'm sure he does. Maybe, I'm not sure. But if he predicted that and he's right, you would think he would just put all his money into Bitcoin, right? Because if he knew, right? If he predicted it, he put all his eggs in that basket. I kind of wonder if he did. Probably not, but but I'm sure he does have Bitcoin. I mean, after all, he ran Gift, and then he sold, or it was sold, and now Gift sucks. Ever since Gift is under new management, quote unquote, I haven't used it because it sucks now. So it's unfortunate. But anyways, when you get involved in Bitcoin, you'll be considered a fool. But I'm going to show you a video that hopefully will change your mind. So bear with me here. Excuse me here. All right. I don't know if y'all seen this video. You can, look it up yourself. It's First Follower Leadership Lessons from Dancing Guy. If you ever seen this video, very interesting. I'll just go ahead and play it and try to listen in. If you can actually watch it, go and watch it. But this is what Bitcoin is kind of like, okay? When you're the first person to have Bitcoin against all the quote-unquote mainstream population, the crowd that just follows whatever's cool, right? Anyways, let me just play the video and you can just see for yourself.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out, you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut, and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers, because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is overglorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
All right. There you go. There you go. I want to share that video. That's what a Bitcoiner, being a Bitcoiner is like. It's a lot like that. You're some reason you're in it by yourself. You're the fool. You're the lone nut. If you just go out there talk about, I mean, it's something simple. Just make a video. Make a video and talk about Bitcoin. Go out there and meet people and talk about Bitcoin, right? It's very simple, right? And as soon as you or go out there and start a Bitcoin company, right? Or start trading peer to peer. It's something simple like that. And then eventually you'll find somebody to join you. And in my experience, you'll find a lot of people who will ridicule you, who will say you're a fool. You're a fool. I'm gonna take the money and go. You're a fool, right? Because I don't value paper money. I value Bitcoin. So I'm a fool. But all you need is someone to join you. And then it just starts, snowballing. So I want to share that with you on that first. So, no matter what you do or what you say, you're gonna be mocked, right? You're gonna be laughed at. What else? You'll become a target. You'll be targeted as well, even persecuted in some sense. Like all the butt coiners, right? All the butt coiners attacking Bitcoiners. What else? So I want to share that with you. So, don't be afraid to be the lone nut. Don't be afraid to be the first follower. Wherever you are, all over the world, have the courage. All right, have the courage to be a Bitcoiner. All right, I know that sounds kind of crazy. It is, but it can be done. It can be done. So back to Vinny Lingham. All right, Vinny Lingham. All right, so he's so far right on, and I agree with him 100% on the whole thing about the state getting involved in buying Bitcoin. But here's the twist. All right, here's the twist. Okay, I do believe the state will procure Bitcoin. All right, but not in the way you think. I think the price right now, if it does reach its peak, is about 1,600. That's just based on a simple thing that, back in 2013, the price was almost at 1,200. There was 13 million Bitcoins in existence or in supply, quote unquote. Really, there wasn't 13 million. I mean, it was less than that. Okay, but I'm just calculating supply versus the price. Just simple calculation. Okay. So we have 16 million Bitcoins. I'm thinking, well, should be 1,600, somewhere around there, right? But where's the 3,000 come from? Where does the 10,000 come from? Where does the million come from? Well, here's why the price of Bitcoin will go to infinity. All right, the state will get involved. Nation states will get involved, and they will procure Bitcoin. And this is how they're going to procure Bitcoin. They're going to mandate that all Bitcoin users sell their Bitcoin for, I don't know, $250. Okay. And if you don't, they're going to confiscate your Bitcoin. Hence, the reason why the IRS wants the a list. They want a list of all Bitcoin users in the U.S. And it's not going to stop there. It's going to go after Coinbase. They're going to go to Gemini. They're going to go to Poloniex. They're going to go to Bitstamp. They're going to go to Bitfinex. All right. They're going to get all Bitcoin users' information. All right, because I think that they're planning their real plan. Well, eventually, what they want to do is they're gonna fuck you. Okay, they're gonna try to tax the crap out of you or make your life miserable for being a Bitcoin user. And then after they do that, they're gonna give that list to other agencies, right? Because the plan would be that they're gonna give you a fair market value, which would be $250. And if you don't, they're going to come after you and they're going to confiscate your Bitcoin. So you have a choice to sell your Bitcoin for $250, or they're going to come and get you and they're going to forcefully take Bitcoin, right? Now, does that sound crazy? I don't think so. Because something like that did happen. I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you're a Bitcoin user, you know this. Gold was money. Gold was money, right? Until the government decided that they want to buy your gold. And if you're not going to sell your gold, they're going to confiscate your gold. So this happened, okay? So for the state to regain control of the monetary supply, right, the money supply, well, it's not really the state, it's some other entity, but the states are gonna do the dirty work. They're gonna come after your Bitcoin. So after they confiscate your Bitcoin, for the most part, I would say, 21 million, a lot of Bitcoins will be taken. I would say the real supply of Bitcoin would be anywhere from 10 to 5 million Bitcoins after that happens, with the remaining 5 million Bitcoins still, in the process of being mined. So if you look at that scenario where Bitcoin, supposedly there's a 21 million cap, but really in existence it's probably only 10 million will ever come into a free market existence where it's actually being used. It's not lost Bitcoin or burned Bitcoin. And that's what's going to drive the price to 3,000, 10,000, a million, and eventually to infinity. Okay. So I do believe Vinny Lingham is correct with his predictions. I'm sure you weren't expecting that that's how it would get to that price. Remember, this was the same thing was done with gold. It was basically bought at the lowest price, and if it wasn't bought, it was confiscated, and then you were given paper money. So the state or some entity behind the state wants control back. They don't want you to be free from the dark overlord's system. Okay? You're going to be recaptivated by force. So if you look around the world, you see the demonetization of paper money. You see currency controls, capital controls, very strict. All right. Venezuela. I mean, look at Venezuela. Not that that's a country to, anything great about that country, but if you look at like Europe, right? Europe is taking out the 5,000 euro, not 5,000, 500 euro. Australia is thinking about doing the same. I mean, India. Those are just tests to see how much the people will bear, how how if they'll comply. And so far, it seems to be working. So that is going to be done all over the world, demonetization of currency. And the reason for that is to create a shortage. Okay, if people aren't getting paid to work because they don't have the cash to pay or do work, guess what? Nothing's going to be harvested. No work is going to be done. A global shortage is basically you're getting an artificial global shortage here of food, of whatever stuff you need every day. Um, so uh, yeah, Vinny Lingham is correct. The state will procure bitcoins. Probably not what you thought, right? You thought the state would be, oh, we'll give up the Fed money and we'll adopt Bitcoin as a currency. No, no. That's never going to happen. You have to realize that now. The global purge, all right, has started. So, what the hell is this artwork about? You know, what's up with with all these women? Okay, so I did this because when the gold was confiscated, right? They came and confiscated gold or gave you paper money for your gold. Um, in that sense, they're going to do the same thing with Bitcoin, except I think a lot of people are not going to comply. So that's why they're going to get the list. The IRS is going to get the list of people. They're making a list, you know, like a Schindler's List. Anyways, they're taking down names, and anyways, I don't want to get too deep into that, but my prediction is that because a lot of Bitcoiners or Bitcoin holders or Bitcoin users are men, the men will be killed first. Men are expendable. Men will fight back. You know, so you're going to see the men being killed first. So remember, you will be deceived. You will be led astray. And then you'll be killed for your Bitcoin. And, you know, there's other things that will happen as the global shortage, the artificial global shortage is starting to take hold. You know, the Dark Overlord will deceive all nations to go to war with each other. And not only that, but the Dark Overlord will fund that war. And basically, all the men will be called to battle to kill each other. All right. And then when the destruction and killings, I mean, I know in my last video I said millions will die. I meant to say billions, even trillions will die. Okay, the global purge. So the reason I did this digital artwork here is, you know, right now most users of Bitcoin are men. We have 50% of the population that are not very active in Bitcoin. So women need to get involved now. You know, you need to, it's a little embarrassing in the beginning. You'll be a fool, you'll be ridiculed, you'll be mocked. You'll be, shunned, um, ostracized, um, all sorts of stuff. But it's important that you get involved now, because your involvement now can delay the global purging. You can push that back enough so there's enough time to defend against it. There will be enough time to escape the global purge. And so basically what I got here is on the right side here. On the right side, these are actually known women, female hackers. I know that's not a really good picture, but pixels. Some of the pictures weren't great. I got all this off the internet, so it's not like I stalked anyone. These are all known hackers, female hackers. So these are real people. I don't know who they are by name, but if you recognize them, then you know who they are. These are also real women soldiers. I have no idea who they are. They just got the pictures off the internet. I'm just making my artwork here. And the reason why I put them together is because in the future, my prediction is that the other half of the population will be joining in this revolution. Literally. You will be joining in the fight against the global purge. It's better if you do it now than later, because you'll be at a serious disadvantage when all the men, or most of the men, are dead. There won't be any men to fight for you, to protect you. You'll be on the front lines. You will have to fight for yourselves. And there's going to be great motivation to do so, because most of the time, women have just been absorbed right into the population, or into the invading country or whatever, right? Women can do something men can never do, and that is birth life. That's why you're so important. You will be birthing life. But in this future scenario, this prediction, you're not a person in the future. You're a commodity. You're a cow. You're a livestock. Because after the purge, the world will be repopulated into slavery. And the Dark Overlord needs you, women, to do it. And so, if you don't join now, you're going to be forced to join later. And the reason why you're going to join the revolution, the reason you're going to get on the front lines is, first of all, most of the men will be dead. Second, your fate as a livestock, literally, you'll be serving on your hands and knees, bending backwards and bent over.
Avast virus database has been updated.
Thank you, Avast. You'll be bent over. You'll be bending over backwards and bent over forwards, getting fucked. You're gonna get fucked, literally. Alright? If you're good looking, maybe you'll be treated a little nicer. You'll almost be quote unquote like someone's wife. You'll have that kind of treatment. All the other women, you'll be forced into manual labor, or you'll just be a concubine, or not even that. You'll just be caged. I won't say cage, but your function is just to produce children into slavery. So it's an eerie prediction, but it's a kind of a prediction that you don't want to see happen. So in order for you to defend against the global purge, you're going to have to join now. Make a difference now. So that's my point in doing this. We're missing half the population in using Bitcoin. Literally. I don't see a lot of women in the peer-to-peer market or in most Bitcoin markets. So this is a scary prediction. I understand if you don't like it, but this is a Bitcoin prediction, and the reason why on the left side you see all these women all soldiered up because all the men are dead. You're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to fight for yourselves. So, anyways, that's my prediction. I don't know what to title it. I was going to title it Build Your Army, but I don't know. I don't know what to title it. But anyways, this concludes this episode of Bitcoin Prediction. Anyways, let me go over some of this. Let me see. I think she's a model. This person actually hacked banks and stole money from them. I'm not sure about this person. This person seems to be a prominent female person who uses a computer. She has a little laptop right there. And then these are, well, yeah, soldiers. Build your army. Gather your forces, whatever. Talk to each other. Don't be afraid. I know what I'm saying is pretty extreme. You may not agree with it. You may agree with it. But, look around. Think about, okay, oh, sorry. One more thing. Okay. If you think I'm full of shit and you think this is crazy what I'm saying, let me share this with you. Okay? Okay. Does anybody remember this guy? Does anybody remember this? Let me read you this part right here. In December 1989, protests for democratic reform spread across the nation, and I don't know how to say this guy's last name. Ceausescu ordered mass suppression, killing hundreds of civilians. In the end, a coup took over the army and arrested Ceausescu, I don't know his name, and his wife Elena as they tried to flee Bucharest. After 25 years of totalitarian rule, the couple was pushed through a 1-hour show trial and immediately executed by a firing squad on Christmas Day. Does anybody remember this? Basically, let me read up here. Okay. So let's see here. All right. So he decided that he must build up country's population. In 1966, he outlawed birth control. That would be another way of doing things. Eventually, the state will outlaw birth control and decree number 770 prohibiting abortion. That also be another thing that'll probably happen where abortions will be prohibited. So these are the telltale signs where the global purging is going to start. And this was a test. This was a model test, right? Don't think this is not going to happen. This did happen. Let me continue. I don't know. Ceausescu ordered each woman produce at least 5 children and gave special rewards to those who bore 10 or more. But as the birth rate soured, the country's economy sank. Citizens suffered from food shortages due to exporting of most of the country's agricultural products. It became unmanageable for parents to care for so many family members. Parents abandoned tens of thousands of children, leaving them in the state's care, especially those with disabilities. I mean, what do you think now? Am I crazy? I don't think I'm crazy. Am I the fool? I don't think I'm the fool. It takes courage to bring this up. It takes courage to talk about these things. All right. The things I'm talking about. I mean, are they really predictions? Are they really predictions? Well, they're my predictions, but are they far-fetched? Is it that crazy? Let me see. Let's scroll up here so you can see what site this is. You know, I remember this. But you know what? Oddly enough, I don't know if this is a Mandela effect or not, but oddly enough, I remembered this guy was executed in the streets. I didn't realize he was executed by a firing squad. As I remember, I mean, I was young, but from my recollection, this guy was executed out in the streets by a mob. But I guess maybe, you know, I was young. But this happened. This was real. So, anyways, for those of you who don't think that this prediction is preposterous, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Anyways, this concludes this episode. Feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned.